I know 2 people that you had sex with.
No, you don't. Shut up.
All right.
Liar.
But I'm just saying.
What a lie.
You never had a one-night stand?
I actually did.
3. Now.
I actually did.
I go through the same thing. Don't feel alone, right? But the thing is.
It was very out of character, I might say. That's why it's in the back of my head. That's why I don't remember.
All right, Amanda, what, if you can, I don't know. I know you pushed it in the back of your head, but what about that person allowed them to skip past 29 more days?
Yeah, they skipped the line.
I can't answer that for real because I don't know that person at all.
Yo, I love it. You know what? That's real. That's real. Okay.
I didn't know that person at all.
So, Rico, do you think that there's an advantage of a woman holding out on you?
I've been in 4 serious relationships, right? 2 of them held out on me that turned into a relationship that lasted over 2 years. One of them gave it to me on the first night that lasted 2 years. So odds are holding out on me does work in your favor. But I think I just admire their discipline because it's hard to resist me. Like it's really hard to resist me. Like I swear to God, like if you like me, it's hard to resist me.
Yo,
I swear, I'm not.
No, I know you're not capping, but
I'm dead ass. Like,
you say that, like it's
hard to resist me. So like it's. Like, if you like me, good luck. Like, you go and give it to me.
You need you to stop talking now.
But so if you can do that, I'm like, damn, she really disciplined. And I'm not going to lie. Both girls that held out are extremely successful today.
I'm actually hella disciplined. I'm not going to lie. I'm super disciplined.
I'm not going to front.
Believe it.
I think the only real advantage that a woman could have with me if she's upfront with me in the beginning with it. It's just like, yo, just so you know, I do like you. I think you cool. I think you a smooth dude, cool, whatever. But I'm just letting you know that this is the concession that I have on sex. Now you're putting the ball in my court to now make a decision.
Yeah, but they lie. You know how many times I heard, this is my first time doing this. No, it ain't.
Yeah, it's not true.
No, it ain't.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't really celibate. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't lie. I don't think you celibate unless it's been like 6 months. Like, you're not doing nothing sexual. You know what I'm saying? No.
Why would you? But why would you think it's a lie? Do you think that females or anybody just says things just to say them?
Yes.
You don't think that if it was true, it would be worth mentioning to someone that they thought that they can possibly have sex with after not having sex for a long time?
Huh? Come again. I really got lost in the sauce. Go ahead, one more time.
Yo.
Okay, no, you brought up her being celibate, like that being a lie. But if she was,
do you want to know why? Like, to me, celibacy has it. Like, okay, it's not just sex. It's also like the power of like you using your sex to manipulate or change things. Like, to me, it's just like if you're using your sexuality to manipulate any kind of situation. To me, it's just like celibacy. I don't know. You're still using your sexuality for some sort of gain, some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right. You might not have technically had sex, but you're still using your sexuality. I know probably on paper, people be like, oh, Matt, like celibacy is just not having sex. But I'm just like, okay, if you're using your sexuality for something, to me, it's just like
personal gain.
You're still using it.
So like she haven't had sex, but she's naked on the gram.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I just don't think that breaks the rules of celibacy.
Maybe technically, yes, sure. I understand. I know there might be like technical rules to it. To me, in like Matt's world, the Mattitude world, it's just like, okay, if
There's a name for it.
Mattitude.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the Pisces side. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like...
That was definitely an Aquarius side.
Yeah, so it's just like, I think that there are some other things to add on when it comes to the use of your sexuality. I don't think it's just a physical thing, personally. Now, on the technical side, may I be wrong on the technical side? Yeah, sure.
I just feel like I need guys to like lower their egos a little bit.
In what sense?
And like, I feel like you guys always think someone's lying. Girl pulls out a condom, you guys have a thought. You guys are like on edge now. You guys are on guard. And it's just like, wait, hold on. Relax.
Oh, yeah, spice. Yeah, come on.
Relax. Hold on.
Yeah.
She was celibate.
Yeah.
And now she might possibly be having sex with you. So she wants to let you know, I haven't had sex in so and so. You don't have to turn your nose up and be like, bitch, you're lying.
Amanda, I think, okay.
she might not be lying.
Okay,
I don't feel like people open their mouth just to lie for no reason.
People do that all the time.
Women cry and lie at the same time.
Lie.
I watched my daughter do that too. I realized I was never wrong. Like when she did that, I was like,
So like put it like this. It is probable, but it's just like, yo, what's the possibility that this is the actual reason why she's telling me this?
I don't see how but I don't see how that would benefit her though. Why would that benefit her?
It's okay. It's the
illusion.
It's
the
but
judgment.
it's like plausible.
The illusion that she's a good girl?
No, it's
Yes.
plausible deniability. It's just like, okay, like it's just like I'm telling him this so I don't feel like a hoe. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I say this technically means that I'm not being a hoe because I did it for this reason. Even though it's just like you're prepping to have sex. It's cool. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Which will make everything that she does say, it is technically a lie because it's not the truth. You prep to have sex. I didn't think that you was a hoe at all, but it's just like, if this is what you want to do, then just do it.
What's the prep? What you mean prep?
Having the condom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I thought that's the example that you had.
Oh.
No?
Okay.
My fault.
The thing is that we're not gonna sit here and think that women aren't, afraid of judgment. We're not gonna sit here and act like that. So do they open their mouth to lie sometimes? Yes. And it really is to protect themselves against judgment. And sometimes, well, very rare, I would say, that guy is really special to them. And that's why they're gonna let them get a G pass. Most times it's who they want to be, and maybe they're just now either showcasing it or they're entering the realm of themselves. Right? And I think there's nothing wrong with it, but the problem is when you start to pretend as if you weren't and then become, right, in a guy's world. Like if you were just this good girl this whole time and then you become this sex freak, it's like, what the hell, right? You knew what you had, and you just kind of withheld information of really who your character was. Then,
So was she supposed to tell you on the second date that she was a freak?
I mean, I would prefer a girl be like, listen, when I'm with a guy, I am a freak in the sheets. You're going to have to earn it, and I'm not going to give it up. But once I open that door, just know I'm fucking you everywhere. And I'll be like, all right, cool.
I don't feel like I feel like if you were kinky, but you might say something like that. But I feel like realistically, who says that? You'll just find out when you actually have sex with her.
No, but what I mean by freak, I'm not talking about like freak, because every girl thinks they're a freak and they're really not, right? Let's make sure we understand.
You're talking about like real kink.
I'm talking not even kink. I'm talking about like she gets busy. She's permissive. You can tell she's experienced.
Like she knows how to ride.
Okay, so you're talking about how she presents versus who she really is.
Exactly.
Okay, got you.
Right. So like, I don't care who you are. If you never drove a car, you cannot drive a Lamborghini. Right. It's just like the power alone is just too much for you to know how to drive that car. But if you've driven Porsches and you might have driven a Ferrari, you can drive a Lamborghini. So I understand that you already know how to drive this car, right? And if you know how to drive this car, that means that you've had experience driving cars. That's just the best way I can put it. So don't come to me as if like I don't do this. Like, yo, but you've been driving. Like you've been driving.
But I only drive a Jeep. I've never drove a Porsche or a Lamborghini.
But I'll be able
Let me
to
try.
But look, a guy could tell.
Yeah, in his analogy,
A guy could tell you didn't drive a Porsche or Lamborghini. Oh, she used to Jeeps. Let me put her in this fast shit real quick.
Yeah, so
you know
in
what I'm
his
saying?
analogy, the Jeep is still like the innocence of the girl, if you will, right? Yeah, to an extent. To an extent.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're not on like full freak status, but you know what I'm saying? Like you got some driving experience.
My Jeep is freaky.
Don't film this yet. I want to make sure I got the question right. So it's like, how do dudes end up dealing with certain women that they probably only wanted to sleep with but ended up being with? Okay. So I have a theory on that. I'm going to ask the question one more time just to make sure I got it. All right. So how do men end up dealing with women that they only want to sleep with and then end up being with them? Personally, I think that men that end up with women like that is because those women address the fundamental bottom line needs of what men want. And let's call a spade a spade. Most times that's sex. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I'm speaking from experience myself. I've been in relationships where sex was held over my head. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't happy there. And situations like that, I tended to leave. That's just what it is. But if there is a woman that now addresses the bottom line of me, it's a lot easier to stick around because I don't have to worry about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, except for I don't all the way agree with you in terms of the the analogy or the question, right, at hand.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when a man goes in like, hey, I'm just gonna smash and I'm a dash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a girl might have the ideology like, okay, when he comes through and I give him this, he gonna stay, right? I think sometimes those men and women that end up in that relationship, they just both met their match and they respect the game. And it's like, wow, you're really good at what you do. Oh, wow, you're really good at what you do. And it's an admiration that happens within the both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that position, right? So it's like, I can't believe that I'm still here, but yet I'm still here because I'm really looking in the mirror. And that's what it is. Like that guy and that girl, maybe she was fast and maybe he was fast. But now they both were able to identify that they're both fast people and they really, really understand each other's character and the abilities of their characteristics. Mm. So then sometimes people don't know how much they love themselves until they look at it in somebody else. So they're like, as a guy, like, I'm loving you because you represent what I represent, even though I don't want that. Right? And that's how that whole situation starts from, smashing on a 1 day or 2 day or 3 day, and it ends up into a year relationship. Mm. And a lot of, bad things happen and it becomes toxic realistically because you're dealing with things that were already within you that is now being presented to you through somebody else because that person is the same as you. So it's like, you're not checking on me if I'm good. In fact, you're giving me space. What? I've been longing for space. Been longing for space.
So I think, Rick,
right? So now because you're giving me space, I'm thinking that you're the perfect match. Because I've always wanted space. But I didn't need space. I wanted space. Now I'm getting space. But I'm only getting space because you wanted space too. And I'm giving you space. And we're both still staying in that same negative, I don't want to say negative, but we're both still staying at that same, method and ideology of doing things that keep us the way that we are rather than elevating us. What you do need is somebody to stop and check on you and say, hey, how are you? Mm-hmm. You might need a little bit of smothering because you tend to get out of hand when you have too much free time. You get what I'm saying? So when people meet their match and they're like, okay, you just reflect me. So we both know what we kind of want, but the problem is we both don't know what we really need to become better people. We're just enabling each other. Yeah, we're enabling each other's downfalls over and over again in different areas.
It's like two addicts getting together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
it's exactly what it is. Two drug addicts. Two drug addicts.
I do think that, Rico, I do think that in a sense, our points do intersect at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're meeting your match, that person is addressing a fundamental of yours. You see what I'm saying?
I get you.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like when I think about this kind of stuff, I always think bottom line. Like what is the bottom line need that I need in order for me to have this relationship be functional? Kind of thing. So when you meet your match, it tends to be somebody that addresses that bottom line need.
But also when you meet your match and say you guys both care about having your sexual needs met, but other than that, you guys want to be left alone, like Rico says, then you guys don't really know how to push past the relationship, past this, the sexual level.
Well, left alone to what degree though? Because there are degrees of being left alone. For me personally.
Like check in every now and again, and you guys end up speaking once or twice a week, and that doesn't really elevate the relationship that much because it'll be once or twice a week for maybe 2 weeks. Then it's once a week, and then it's once every other week.
For you personally, or for the couple?
No, I'm just saying that's how it can be.
I mean, I think it's only an issue if it's an issue for one of the two people who are actually in the relationship. Honestly.
But I don't see that being okay, yeah, I just wanted sex, but now I'm stuck here. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so the stuck here part is also.
And I don't mean that negatively.
No. I mean, you can mean it any way you want. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. It's if it's the truth, it's the truth. See what I'm saying? But I think that getting stuck in that kind of position is because it is very difficult to find somebody that fundamentally fulfills your needs, your bottom line needs. You know what I'm saying? The idea of the food, water, shelter thing, in a relationship, who's giving me that?
Yeah, but sometimes their needs are survival mechanisms, right? Or survival tactics.
What you mean?
So sometimes your needs might just be something that's not necessarily what you need. It's just what you've been conditioned to think you need, right? Maybe somebody just needs somebody who is on top of them 24/7, right? And just coddling them all the time because they were coddled as a kid. They were sheltered as a kid, so that's what they think that their need is. So then the person that gives them that is giving them that, false narrative of that need, but it's never allowing them to grow. But it's never going to allow them to grow past the part of being, some type of individual or having some type of independency or just the ability to function without, right? So, because my thing is this, I understand the fundamental needs, right? But then I understand that people don't know the difference between what they need and what they want, right? And a lot of times they get what they want confused with what they need. But that's how I kind of I can see where the miscommunication happens. You know what I mean? Okay, Matt. So we always ask all of our guests these 3 questions, right? They're like icebreaker questions, and I'll start first, right? And Amanda can ask you the other 2. All right. Any girl in the world, you only have 24 hours to live. You get the opportunity to have an intimate moment with this person. And it's going to happen. It's not like hey, I don't know if this is good or not. Yes, make the arrangements. She'll be on a private jet or he, whatever your preference is. And I just have to say that. I just have to say it. You know what I'm saying? It's a no judgment zone. And they're ready and willing. Who would it be?
You made that a long one.
No, I get the question though. I don't know. I'm gonna be real. It is tough to say. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this to brag. For the most part, I've gotten the woman that I wanted. You see what I'm saying? So it's just
okay, but for your last day on Earth,
last day,
would you want to do any of them again? Would you want someone
Or
completely
someone
new?
Like Jennifer Lopez?
Nah, I'll pass on that.
That was hard. It hurt my heart.
You always say Jennifer Lopez.
I love her.
Whatever. I'll just pass on it. I don't know. It's
You say you're gonna pass on her?
I'll pass on that.
What?
I'm sorry. I don't. It's not for me. I don't see the hype. I'm not a hype guy.
All right, no, not Jennifer. I mean anything. Anyone? None.
Come back to that. Go to the next one.
You're not gonna have sex on your last day of living.
I don't know with who because I don't know why, but my mind doesn't. There is no I need that. It's that's not clicking in my brain.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm not trying to be funny or
Cap, I'll talk to you next week.
You say, yo, I was the
I'm like, yo, he sent me mad DMs of bitches' profiles, and now all of a sudden,
It be like that sometimes. You get caught off guard.
Yeah, that
Can't remember.
That was awkward. If something does come to my
At a
mind,
random time, he'll think of someone yo, I should have said that person.
Yes, if it comes to mind in the next 2 questions, I'll let you know.
yo, whoever you marry gonna pull us up. Just letting you know.
That's fine. He gonna marry me not knowing me shit.
Nah, I'm messing around.
I know.
Yeah, once upon a time, I wanted to hit Jennifer Lopez.
Seriously?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nah, I did.
Really caught me with that one too. I was like, for real?
What is your go-to drink when you go out, go to a bar, go to a party? What do you order?
I have go-to drinks. If I know what I'm trying to accomplish that night, I know exactly what I'm drinking.
What are you drinking?
Okay, so let's say if it's if I'm out.
What are you trying to accomplish? Just kidding. Go
I
ahead.
mean, you know what I'm saying? All right, so if I really want to get loose and have a good time, I'm drinking gin and tonics. I know that might sound like an old person's drink, but it gets it done. The only problem is if you drink too much, you will have a lapse in your memory. That's the only problem.
I actually hate that. I be wanting to cry when I don't remember shit.
That's why I don't drink.
I be
as much
feeling
anymore.
drugged.
Yeah.
Who drugged me? Why don't I remember any of it?
But yeah, so if I'm just out with friends, I'm just a social thing, tequila all day, all night. If I'm with my boys and we at a fete or something like that, we normally just.
Where are you from?
My family's Jamaican.
Okay.
Yeah. So born and raised in the Bronx, moved out to Jersey sometime.
Okay.
Where did you think I was from?
I didn't, but you said fet, and people don't usually say that. So
Said what? Fed?
Fete.
Vet?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like a party.
it's a party.
Yeah.
Like festival?
Oh God. Oh, next question.
Vet?
Fete.
F-E-T?
Fete. Okay, so if you can have dinner with anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Damn, this one might get me canceled.
Handsome.
So okay, so I'm like I love history. I love history.
Just say it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Just
Let me hear.
Go
I
ahead.
feel like, can I guess what you're
Go
gonna
ahead,
say?
you can guess.
Is it the Nazi guy?
She's right.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Nah, but you know why though? It's not because I'm actually interested.
What's his name?
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf.
So,
Yeah, Hitler?
So it's just like okay, when it comes to
You're
history,
definitely an Aquarius.
no, but when it comes to history, here's the reason why. Like, I'm not like I don't think that what he did was profound or anything like that. Like, yes, I do understand like the shit that he did was grotesque. So my thing is just like I'm into picking people's brains. Why did you think that was okay? Why did you move that way? Why did you see what I'm saying? It's just like
Or
really
how?
picking the brain because a lot of it went on in like, the 1940s that shaped today. Big time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like not trying to be buddy with the dude, but it's just like, yo, what possessed you to think this way? Even though I do understand what happened during that period of time, but to actually sit down and talk with that person, it's just like I'm just trying to gain understanding. You see what I'm saying? It's not about you being right or wrong. Why did you do what you did?
I think I don't want to dive too deep on it, but I think that'd be a dope conversation to have, only just because when we talk about history and like monumental things in history, I don't like narratives that are just told from third parties, right?
Mhm.
I would love to just hear it from the source. And it might be crazy,
It definitely.
but at least I would know the truth. Because you know that game Telephone,
yeah.
and then everything
I mean, I'd
always
be
gets
scared to
changed
ask
throughout
the
time,
source.
you know?
Next thing you know, kill me, burn me up.
Which,
and on top of
as soon
that-
as you said no to female condoms, you was out of there.
and then on top of that too, like I don't know. Like I have this like, especially during that time period, like World War II. It's just like, okay, we did technically win the war, but it's just like, yo, we was doing some fucked up shit too. Like you do understand the first nuclear bombs were used on civilian people during that time that was dropped by us. I mean, last time I checked, although we did win and we do reap the benefits of living in America and there's privileges that came from that, we still demolished and obliterated innocent people. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like when it comes to like really understanding why we did it, on paper I get why we did it. You see what I'm saying? Does it make it right or wrong? Like, I mean, some might say yes, some might say no, but it's just like I'm still intrigued on the thought process.
Yeah, well, maybe
And that's really it.
we look at us as maybe they met their match and their reflection. I just want to clarify something before we go. So yeah, Tiffany Chen is the mother of Robert De Niro's daughter. They gave birth to Gia Virginia on April 6th, Aries, 2023. And she's 65, so there's about a 25-year age gap between them.
What's the age gap that would make you look at your daughter like, I don't know, like
Anything past, I would say 7 or 8 years. Once you hit 9, 10-year difference, and it depends on how old she is. She's 19 with a 29-year-old. I might be like, all right.
so what is the ultimate eyebrow raiser? What is the fear? What is the assumption?
Too close to your age?
No. First of all, if it was my age, I whoop his ass, right? Let's just get that very clear.
No, but I want to know why. Like, why would you whoop his ass? Like, what is the assumption? What is the fear?
It's not a fear. It's just a assumption, or just realistically, just the privy knowledge that I have and experience that I have to know what men want and are majority of the time at that age group. Like, we like to think that we're so much different from each other, but realistically, we're very much the same.
Oh, no, I listen.
So if I know that if my daughter is dating, for example, she's 21, right? And when she's 21, I'll be 48, right? Around 49. So let's say I'm 49 and my daughter's dating a 50-year-old and she's 21. I already know what he's looking for.
So you automatically assume that it's with predatory intent.
No, I never said predatory.
No, but I mean, if you're saying that you know how we are, then essentially
It's not predatory. I just think that a 50-year-old man with a 21-year-old woman is a person who just wants to feel compassion for something young, because at the same time they can't deal with a woman who has become their own individual at that age. A lot of men that deal with women when they're in their 40s and 38 and above, I would say, those women are those women. Now, granted, we still do change, but a 21-year-old is easier to manipulate, easier to control, easier to just get them to do what you want them to do, especially when they're looking at you as an older peer rather than somebody that's eye to eye. So that's the issue I would have with that age gap. You can't be 50 years old dating my 21. You can't even be 40 years old dating my 21-year-old daughter. The max I'm gonna go is 30, 31.
All right, so is there any scenario in your head, hypothetically, where you'd be like, okay, I spoke to this dude, I vetted him, I know who he is, I got the beat on him. My daughter's just not out here just doing frivolous, dumb shit. I know who this dude is. Is there any exception to the rule in your
No.
brain? No?
When I was 14 in high school as a freshman, even then, I would be like, there was this girl, she was dating this dude, we were friends, right? Nothing serious. And she dated this dude who was 19 and she was 14. It's like, that doesn't raise a suspicion in your head that he is now thinking that he is your age group mentality wise. Like, my thing is this, there is a level of intellect majority of the time, not all of the time, that is possessed by your age throughout your experience, hopefully, right? Now, if we're saying there's no vetting a 51-year-old dating a 21-year-old, because in order to please a 21-year-old, you must think, act, and move as if you were of that age of 21, right? Have you ever had a conversation with a 21-year-old? No offense to anybody that's 21. Have you ever had a conversation with a 21-year-old recently?
Mm-hmm. I have.
Could you see yourself being with that person every day? No.
No.
Exactly. So now if I'm 50, right, and I'm going to be talking to a 21-year-old every single day, I'm either looking for somebody who's going to be a compassionate slave or a sex slave.